Hi everyone, welcome to the Fall 2019 Introduction to Sociology, the online section. I'm Dr. Patricia Maloney. I'm the professor of record for this class.
My name is Amanda Tebow. I'm going to be running the course this semester.
Yeah, so Amanda is functioning as my super GA. There are many hundreds of you, and as you note, there are only two of us. So I'll talk a little bit later on about how we're going to divide up responsibilities, but be aware that all the lectures are mine, the exams are mine, all that sort of thing. So yes, I am running the course, but Amanda is doing a lot of the logistical work for me. So please open up your syllabus and we'll take a look at it together. Make sure you understand everything. You can see our email addresses at the top of the page here. My office hours are by appointment. I am on campus in the fall 2019 semester. So feel free to schedule an appointment with either one of us. We're here. This is a course that helps fulfill the SBS, Social and Behavioral Sciences requirement, as well as the multicultural requirement. You can see the core curriculum learning outcomes and the assessments here on the table on pages 1 and 2. The main way that we'll be assessing you through this class is through your responses to the weekly lecture quizzes, as well as your responses to the midterms, there are two of them, and the final exam. The materials, books needed, 30 readings and introduction to sociology. Some of you emailed about getting an earlier edition because it's cheaper. I do hope you always save money, but be aware that, for example, the order of readings may have changed, or some readings were added or deleted. So take a look at the table of contents for the edition that I have specified, so that the latest edition, so that you can make sure that you're doing the correct reading if you have an earlier edition. The syllabus quiz, which you should take immediately after listening to this video, is worth 3% of your grade. Each lecture quiz, there are 14 of them, is worth 3% additionally, so that's 3 times 14, 42%. The midterms, there are 2 midterms. Each one of them is worth 15% for your final grades. And finally, there's a final exam, which is cumulative. It's worth a quarter of your final grade, 25%. The midterms are not cumulative. So midterm 1 covers weeks 1 through 6, whereas midterm 2 covers weeks 7 through 12. You can see the dates and times when they open. Now, the lecture quizzes in this class open and close at 11:59 on various days. They're at the bottom of the syllabus. I'll show you in a minute. But the midterms and the final exam open and close at 8 o'clock at night. This is because we have found that sometimes people run into technological issues at the last minute. So we wanted to make sure that we were awake and able to deal with that, because I'm not staying up to midnight to deal with your technological issues. So please be aware of that it's an 8 p.m. open and close time on those, not a midnight one. There are so many of you that if you don't do a lecture quiz or you don't do a midterm, I'm sorry, but that's on you. And that includes technological issues. I simply don't have the ability to be opening and closing lecture quizzes. I really have to maintain the same standards for everyone. So if you have a doctor's note that you were incapacitated the entire time that a lecture quiz was open, then we can talk to you about it. If you only have a doctor's note, for example, that says that you were incapacitated on the day something was due, tough luck. I'm sorry to say that, because you had an entire week to do something and you chose to wait to the last minute. The readings are fair game, as well as anything I say in class or that's on the PowerPoint. Lecture quizzes, they cover the readings for the week as well as any materials that I say during class and the PowerPoint. They're a mix of multiple choice and short answer. You can see the university policies with students with disabilities, academic integrity. There are, as I said, short answers on the lecture quizzes and the midterms and finals. For the love of God, if you are going to use someone else's words, put it in quotation marks and cite it. I can't even tell you the number of times I've had to bust somebody for plagiarism because they thought it would be a really good idea to copy and paste an answer, because, I'm stupid and I've never heard of Google. In terms of being able to answer questions for this class, the only materials that you're allowed to use are the course materials. So internet and online materials, as well as external materials to the course materials, not allowed, and are considered cheating. I will prosecute accordingly, unfortunately. What are class materials? The PowerPoint, any sort of lecture video, the readings, totally all considered course materials. Feel free to use them as you please while you take a quiz or a midterm. Okay, so in terms of who you should talk to for different things, if you have a content question, like you don't understand the material, or you have a question about something I've said during lecture, talk to me, right? That's something you absolutely should email me about. You have a question about, oh no, I screwed up submitting my quiz or something.
Yeah, or like if you can't find something on Blackboard, or you're looking for something regarding a grade or have a question about a grade, that'll all be directed towards me.
Mm-hmm. If you still have a question about a grade after you've talked to Amanda, absolutely, come talk to me, right? I am the professor for the class. But if you have a question about the grade, she'll be doing the grading. Talk to her first, because 9 times out of 10, she can answer that question, and then it doesn't have to escalate to me. Okay.
Yeah, and just remember that grades can't be discussed actually via email, so we would have to make an appointment either in person or via Skype. Nothing can be discussed through the university emails.
Yeah, that's due to a FERPA regulation. Another thing I do want to make clear to everybody, oh my God, Blackboard is dumb, okay? It will calculate a wrong grade for you. Do not trust Blackboard's gradebook to be figuring out how you're doing in this class, because it doesn't understand weighted averages very well. So I have put up an Excel spreadsheet on the main course site on Blackboard, where all you have to do is plug in your grades for different things, and then you can see actually how you're doing. So for the love of God, use the spreadsheet, okay? Because I'm gonna get these, Amanda actually, will be getting these emails of, oh, I'm failing the class. No, use the Excel spreadsheet, okay? Because Blackboard, dumb. Another thing about Blackboard, if you put in an answer and it doesn't, like, for example, the answer is a half, whatever, and you say a half instead of 0.5. This is a stupid example, but you take my point. And Blackboard marks it wrong. Just take a screenshot, send it to Amanda. She can fix it manually, right? That's not a big deal, okay? In terms of when different things are due, so this syllabus quiz is due August 28th, 2 days after classes are done. It shouldn't take you more than about 5 minutes to do, so I don't anticipate that'll be an issue. Lecture quizzes, with one exception, are due on Wednesday nights at 11:59 p.m. So for example, the lecture quiz for week 3 would be due September 18th, which is a Wednesday, at 11:59 p.m. The next week's materials open up immediately after that lecture quiz is due. So the week 4 materials would open up on September 19th, right after the week 3 quiz is due. Do you understand? And no, I'm not going to open up everything at once. I did that one semester just as an experiment, like to let students work at their own pace and see what happens, and it was a disaster. Grades plummeted. It turns out that it's much better if I pace the class and force people to do one thing a week. That's a lot better for learning, for pedagogical material. Okay. Oh, the one exception for when a lecture quiz is not due on a Wednesday, you'll note that the week 13 lecture quiz, which is right before Thanksgiving, is due on Tuesday before Thanksgiving, not Wednesday, because I assumed everybody would be going home by Wednesday. So that's due the 26th. It's not due the 27th. That's the only exception there. The midterms, once they open, you'll have 60 minutes to do it. The final is 90 minutes. Once you open a quiz, the clock starts ticking, and it will auto-submit for you after a certain period of time. So no, you can't be like toggling in and out of it. Once you start it, that's it. It will submit itself. And you only have one shot at it. Other than that, I think everything should be pretty self-explanatory. I do hope and encourage you guys to email me with content questions, because I want to answer those. I do definitely want to see those. And if you'd like to pop by office hours to say hi, I'd be glad to see you and glad to do that. If you have any other questions, please let us know. What did I miss? Did I miss anything?
I don't think so, because the only thing I was going to say was about the quizzes closing on their own, so you can't just like X out and come back to it later.
Yeah. That should be about it. I'm looking forward to reading your responses, and it's nice to sort of meet you guys. Have a good semester, guys.